And so I got a chance to trial with them, and I got into the training squad. So I got to train with like quite a lot of like New Zealand international team players, which was a really good opportunity for me, I think.
No, that's welcome here on Sandy Bay Media for another episode. I'm joined by Aimee and Jess Barnard from Southern United. They're two New Zealanders who've just signed for the club, and we're going to talk to them about who they are and why they moved to Southern. Welcome, Aimee. Welcome, Jess.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Fantastic to have you on. Let's get started. So let's get to know a little bit about you. Aimee, what's your position?
So basically I just play anywhere up the front, from striker to left wing to right wing. And previously, back when I was younger, I used to play left back and right back as well.
Awesome. And Jess, yourself?
So at the moment I play goalkeeper. I've been playing for the last like 6 years. So just goalkeeper.
Well, let's have a look at how you got involved in football and sort of your early days. Aimee?
So back when I was like 6 or 7, when I first moved to New Zealand from South Africa, I joined a club at school and basically just kept playing from then. And then I joined a club called Forest Hill Milford, and I played there for practically like 11 years. And after that, I moved to a club at West Auckland and played there for a year.
And Jess, similar sort of story there?
So I started at the same time that Aimee started. Like as soon as we moved to New Zealand, we both just like joined soccer straight away. And I've been, for the first like 6 years of playing soccer, I actually played on field. But then like 5 years ago, I decided to just try become a goalkeeper, and just like enjoyed it. So I became.
That must have been fun, and especially for Aimee, just having someone to shoot against.
Yeah, exactly.
You've always got a goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's true. We always like go out and train together, so it's pretty easy for me. Yeah.
And growing up and playing in the same team and playing as sisters, what was that like? Was there a bit of competition, or was it sort of the other way around?
Well, I know that back when I played defense, she would like get quite annoyed at me because she would say I wouldn't listen to her and stuff like that. But it was pretty fun playing together otherwise. Yeah, it was good to have like support from like a family member to like play with at the same time. It was quite cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's great. So on the park, are you sort of like in sync with each other, or that you can sort of play passes with each other, sort of read each other's minds, or is it like something not there yet?
It's like not really in like minds, but like we do signals to each other on the field. Yeah, quite in sync, I think. But she plays up, like a lot of the time she mainly plays up front now, and so I can't like communicate with her as much, but it's still sometimes I can.
That's great. And then obviously, we were talking a little bit earlier and just looking at sort of your later career in New Zealand. Aimee, you had a bit of an interesting story when you ended up going to West Auckland. Do you want to tell us about that?
So back when Forest Hill merged with, I think it was Glenfield Rovers, they ended up making a club called Northern Rovers, and we had quite a lot of female soccer players show up to trial out, and so they needed to make more teams. But at the time, New Zealand football, I don't think we were allowed to make more teams to put in the same league. So our coach, he sent quite a bit of our players away to West Auckland to like create more opportunities and to bring the clubs closer. And so a lot of my players that I'd grown up with got moved over to West Auckland, so I just decided to go with them to keep playing with them because I really enjoyed playing with those players as well.
That's excellent to hear that. And Jess, looking at yourself, you mentioned that you were in the Prem, and then you had an opportunity to be involved in the National League as well.
Yeah. So I played for the Prems for a couple of years, and I got selected to trial for Northern Lights, which is a national team which like represents the city that I was in. And so I got a chance to trial with them, and I got into their training squad. So I got to train with like quite a lot of like New Zealand international team players, which was a really good opportunity for me, I think.
No, that's great to hear that. And obviously you mentioned it was a great opportunity. How did you go yourself, and sort of how did you find training with those national team players?
Yeah. It was a bit of a challenge because they were quite good, but it was good for me because I was able to end up playing at that league, and I think it was like just good for experience and all that.
Yeah, that's great, and it's excellent to hear that, and hopefully that experience will come handy this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
And speaking of this year, you've both decided to come out here to Australia. Aimee, how did that move come about?
So actually the coach that I met over in West Auckland, he knew Brian for many years, and he's very involved with finding players for Australian football, and he messaged Brian asking what positions he needed filling and like what sort of players he wanted, and then he came to me and asked me and my sister if we would like to go over and play for them and like get experience from that. And yeah, we're really keen to do that, to go over. Yeah.
Great to hear that. And Jess, just obviously, Aimee mentioned you were very interested. What was one of the reasons that you and your sister were interested?
We were really interested because we heard that here in Australia there's actually a lot more opportunity than in women's soccer than in New Zealand. And so we were really keen to come and experience like the leagues here and just get involved in Australian soccer.
Fantastic. And Aimee, there was something, Aimee and Jess, open question. There was a few other things we were talking about that attracted you to Southern.
Yeah, it was the all-female club, how they work with the females trying to grow soccer, and basically I just like how it was an all-female club, because at most of the other clubs I think the men get all the kits and stuff like that, and then the women from our experience get all the leftovers and stuff like that, where at Southern all profits and stuff go towards building the club for the women. And I think I really liked how it was like that here.
Essentially females being the priority for the club.
Yeah, I like that.
It's excellent. And obviously 2022 is coming up. What are your goals for this year? So we'll start off with your individual goals. Jess?
So my individual goals are to become like more confident in goal, and to just like get out there in Australian soccer and meet like the team. I'm really excited to see the team this year and meet everyone.
Fantastic. And Aimee?
My goals are just to like get as much experience as I can with playing overseas, and just work with the team and learn to like coach with other coaches, play with other coaches, and I just want to grow as much as I can as a player this year and just see where it takes me from there.
That is fantastic goals for the both of you. Well, look, all the best in this season, and welcome to Australia, and good luck.
Thank you so much.